Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us. My name is Tim McManus. I'm president of AIT Business Services. We're an Infor channel partner. We specialize in Infor CloudSuite, SyteLine ERP. We've been working with this application since 1993. It's had a number of different names. Prior to that, it was Mapix, Front Step, Cymix, but it's the same product that has been evolving for 30 years now. And we've also had a lot of experience working with furniture manufacturers, probably getting on 25 years now. And what I thought I'd do today is share a little bit of what the Infor CloudSuite application is, and also some of the special challenges we've found working with furniture manufacturers and how we've developed some solutions and in some cases some IP to take care of that. Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'd like to introduce myself. Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us. My name is Tim McManus. I'm president of AIT Business Services. We're an Infor channel partner. We are a reseller and an implementation partner. We've been working with this application, Infor CloudSuite SyteLine, since actually before 1993, but officially 1993. We're creeping up on 30 years doing this. And this application's been around for a long time under different names. Prior to Infor, it was, it was Mapix and Front Step and originally Cymix. And for those of you going way, way, way back, it was first named MMS. Anyway, also within this career of ours, we've been working with a lot of furniture manufacturers, probably close to 25 years with a number of furniture manufacturers. And there are some unique things about furniture that I thought we would share today. And what I'd like to do is go over a little bit of what Infor is, what Infor CloudSuite is, and then kind of go into some of the specific challenges for furniture manufacturers. Infor, one of the best kept secrets out there. They're actually the third largest enterprise application manufacturer or publisher behind SAP and Oracle. They are a $3 billion company. They've got 67,000 customers, 14,000 in the cloud. Our move to cloud has been rapid and very successful. There's a very healthy partner channel, of which we are one of them. And with the cloud application, we're doing regularly a new release every month. And that release could be big. It could be, just a few updates and things like that. And all. Right now, we're tracking, I think, a little bit above 99.7% uptime. Some of the furniture customers that we've worked with over the years, from internal consumer things, bed and bath, dining sets, things like that, to industrial furniture, ergonomics, office furniture, things like that. Let's talk a little bit about Infor CloudSuite and what that is. The core, to start with, is the SyteLine ERP application. This is, like I said, something we've been working with for a long time. It is a complete enterprise application that will allow manufacturers to, skip all the point solutions and things like that and really have one single source of the truth. Starting with, bills of materials, engineering change notices, documents, drawings. There's a full projects module Some of our customers, instead of just taking orders and shipping them, they'll do bigger projects. Like some of the ergonomic companies, you say Apple is building a new facility or something, and that's going to be, as the construction gets complete, they're going to be delivering floor by floor. That thing will take place over, maybe 6 months. We've got a great projects module for that. And, just your typical things that you find in an ERP, customer relationship management, either just contact management, or maybe you're doing opportunities, leads, campaigns, and interactions throughout the customer experience. From a prospect, you can follow those conversations all the way through to after you've sold them. You're having conversations about aftermarket service, things like that. And we do have a great integration with Outlook, where these interactions can just seamlessly go into your ERP ecosystem just through Outlook. Obviously, once you close a deal, sales order management, we can process orders in a number of different ways: regular blanket orders, configurable orders. And then supply chain and sourcing procurement materials. What do I need to buy? When do I need to buy it? Where is it? Once I have it, from a manufacturing point of view, we've got a lot of different options with how you want to make things. It could be, you could be a repetitive manufacturer. You could be a build to order, where you're getting things in and creating work orders or jobs just for those specific orders and shipping them out. Maybe you're doing things on such a regular basis. You just want to do production schedules or Kanbans releases. If you've even got mixed methods, we can do that as well. Configuration management, what color do I want? What fabric? Different options like that. We do have a full quality module. That quality module is in 4 parts, really. Incoming supplier inspection. Something gets in here from a vendor. You may have one vendor who's certified. We don't need to inspect them until every 6 months. You could have a new vendor, 100% inspection. It could be related to the part. What do I want to inspect? What are the tests that I do? Or am I using any equipment, gauges? Are they calibrated? And that goes through also in the work in process. And on the finished side, once something's done prior to shipment, a lot of government applications or some more regulated customers have a customer inspection process as well. And the fourth is just overall enterprise quality management. Think of like ISO certifications, conversations, and improvements you're doing. We have a service management module. After you've sold something, maybe you've got warranties on something for a year. Maybe you want to have extended warranties on that. Things come in with incidents. We've got a full call center, kind of an escalation process and a knowledge base. You can create service orders, dispatch people to go fix things. We've got full mobile devices for that as well. Your service people could be employees or they could be contractors. They can go out, do repairs, add materials, things like that right out in the field. Going to hop over here. Multi-site operations. We have the ability to, in fact, a lot of our customers have multiple locations all over the world or the country. Or maybe they've just got 2 warehouses, down the street from each other. Whether you just have a couple different locations or they're actually set up different entities and business units, you can do that as well. Everything rolls up to finance. All the transactions we do, everything is fully GAAP compliant. We've got a nice way of defining our GL transactions in a dimensional way, so you can get a lot of a lot of different views at things by product line, by customer type, things like that, right up to the GL level. Performance management, basically, how am I doing? KPIs, analytics, things like that. We do have a full HCM module. Employees, you want to track what their education is or certifications, what they're allowed to do, different incidents, accidents, uptime, and obviously, if you want to do payroll as well, we can support payroll either, self-contained, you can print your checks, or do everything up to the point where you send your payroll file off to an ADP or a Paychex or something. And lastly, we have event management. Everything that happens in this application is an event. It's traceable, trackable, and from there we can do things like create workflows or trigger other processes, things like that. All right, let's keep going. The ERP sits inside of or within something called Infor OS, Infor Operating System. That is a set of tools and collaboration applications that allow you to get a broader look at the enterprise. Allows other people, not even just employees or internal people. You can have vendors collaborate, things like that. The heart of this, Mingle home pages. What we're looking at here, this is just a configurable home page that I've set up. Maybe what I want to do is go in and take a look at my to-do list here. Maybe I've got some quick links to the applications that I do, some KPIs, things like that. If I want, I can even just have some of my daily, data entry screens here as well. As you notice, I've got multiple options here, so you can have different user experiences, different home pages, depending. A lot of companies, people wear different hats. They do different things during the day. So you've got the ability to just personalize your work experience just like that. Also, with that comes our collaboration piece, our Mingle feeds. And think of this sort of like, Facebook for the enterprise. I want to communicate something to someone. Maybe I'm on an order and something looks strange, or I want to follow this thing. I can just tag someone or something or a group and say, hey, take a look at this. They can get that feed, go in here, and you can see down here this little purple thing. They can click on that, drill right back into the application. You can have conversations by department or groups, individual private conversations if you'd like. And given how what we've seen is a lot of people, a lot of people in factories, things like that. We give them the old version of data entry, things like that. They're like, I don't know what to do, but they get on their phone and they know exactly how to like something or comment on somebody's post. We're bringing a lot of that back into the enterprise here so that people can work the way they interact and know how to interact with an application. In 19, I'm sorry, not I'm dating myself. 2017, Infor bought Burst. Burst was one of the leading business intelligence applications, and since then they've wrapped it into the CloudSuite application in the form of analytics. You have the ability here to use the out of the box, and there's quite a few of them that come out of the box. You also can design your own dashboards, your own queries, your own reports. It's pretty easy, kind of drag and drop sort of thing. And you also have the ability to add data that maybe is not part of the application. You may still have a point system and maybe quality or some other application. Maybe you want to link into some of your outside HR things. You've got the ability to take that, wrap that into Burst here, and have these dashboards represent a lot more than just the ERP. Ion, Infor Open Network, allows us to, this is kind of our behind the scenes backbone infrastructure. Some things like workflow, for instance. Full workflow designer here, drag and drop. You can set things up so that they're launched from, any action in the ERP goes out. In this particular case, maybe a approval request or something that you can go and look at, evaluate. Is it under my approval amount, or is it over? And this is, maybe 10Ks hard coded, or maybe you want to go out and look at that person's authorization level. Maybe it gets to a point where you want to start a different workflow. The possibilities and combinations obviously endless here, but the important thing is very user approachable here in terms of designing these, linking them to data back to the system, and also interacting with them. These workflows can be internal, but they can also send things out to, say, your suppliers or customers as well. Speaking of communication with the outside world, Ion Desk allows us to essentially integrate to anybody with a telephone, so to speak. If they have the ability to to talk with APIs or any type of integration technology, we've got the ability to do that through either our native REST integration in the ERP, Ion APIs here, SOAP, JSON, however you do it. You know, Sometimes a lot of our customers do EDI, and by the way, we do have a full EDI module and set of functionality. But a lot of integrations with customers are not that how do we call that, elegant. That's the word I wanted. Not that elegant. Maybe it's just an FTP site or something that somebody's dropping something out there. You can set this up so that I can go out, grab their data from an API site, or excuse me, an FTP site, go in there and upload it, and maybe even create a secondary table. And that's what I want in my burst analytics as well. Tons of possibilities with this. Okay, that's the 30,000 foot view of the CloudSuite application. I want to talk a little bit about specific challenges we found for furniture manufacturers. For instance, a lot of us have multiple features and options on things. What kind of finish do I want on it? Is it a 6-foot table? Is it a 9-foot table? What colors? Is it going to be fabric? Things like that. One thing we've seen over the years, capacity planning and scheduling. We have, and I'll show you, we've got a lot of very, very sophisticated tools for that. Sometimes sophisticated is, more than we need. We've got a lot of customers that just say, what, I know I can do about 500 units a day in this work center. And I don't really need to go, on an operation and, operation by operation. This takes 7 minutes and all that sort of stuff. So that's a challenge sometimes. Another thing, cut pieces. You've got a 8-foot section of 1x1 pine board, but that's going into, you're cutting that into a lot of different little pieces and corner brackets, things like that. How to manage that without getting your bills of materials crazy complicated. A lot of what's been happening lately, COVID, or it's been happening more and more lately, is online sales. A lot of our customers who have traditionally just been selling out to distributors or showrooms, things like that, they're getting a lot of business with customers coming in to click. Now, how to pack a truck of various sofas and love seats and things like that. That is a challenge as well. We are coming up. In fact, we're working on a tool right now that I think is going to really make a huge impact with how we're able to do that. Dimensional inventory, yeah, I got 100 feet in inventory, but is it 6 inch, all in 6 inch pieces, or what is it? Um, Lastly, customer-owned materials, fabrics, laminates. Sometimes we're doing jobs and the customer supplying the fabric. That adds a whole nother level of complexity in terms of, you know, where is it? Is it in inventory? Do they own it? Who owns it? Is it going to come in here? Now you've got another moving part to your schedule. Let's talk about a couple of these features and options. I'm going to pop out to our CloudSuite application. This is our CPQ, configure, price, quote. This allows us to, it allows actually customers to go in, or your customer service people to go in and walk through an order to personalize it and get that ready for production. So let's just do one real quick. It's a 3D chair. I'm going to go up, start configuring it. Okay, so I've got choices on colors. I've got a little bit of frame choice here. Maybe I want to take a look at this image. Click on my image. We can do 2D, 3D. Let's make this green here on the back. Let's make the fabric a little bit, how about a little stripy thing? That looks good. And let's change this a little bit. I go ahead and finish that. And what this will do is we'll go out, it will create the bill of materials, create the work order or work orders. If it's multi-level assembly for this, it, it will also, in fact, let me go to a different model here. And we'll go to the, let's say, door. We're using this one because it's good for dimensions. Here, and we'll choose some wood, stain colors maybe, and actually let's take a look at this as we're doing it. Take a look at the image. So we've got the image that the customer can see, or customer service. I can go ahead and make some changes here. And let's say the dimensions, I want this to be 40 instead of 30, and this is going to be 70 instead of 80. This will re-render the drawing here. These choices here are completely self-definable and configurable. You basically decide what you want to do, what your product is. This interfaces with CAD software as well. And when we're done with this, I mean, this is very simple door. It could be, it could be a, 4-part sofa that has matching pillows or different rules on that. You can actually have this set up, create collateral for the customer. Maybe here's the data sheet on it. Create 2D or 3D drawings for the shop as well. And once I go ahead and finish that thing, oh, by the way, it is, you can see up here, as I'm doing this, it's calculating the prices as well. So that's our CPQ. We also have a lighter option in the ERP called features and options. Features and options are, they are, just a kind of a simpler way of doing that. If you don't want to go in and, spend all this time, maybe you've just got something with 4 different options and, on the legs and 2 different fabrics, things like that. You can set that up in the features and options set. And again, customer service can just walk through that, pick those. It builds the price, builds the bill of material, and allows you to configure that. Let's go to our next challenge, capacity planning in units. As I mentioned, we have with the CloudSuite SyteLine ERP a very, very sophisticated set of tools for capacity and production scheduling. See here, this is on my resources. Here are some of the different rules that we can apply from a scheduling point of view. You know, least lead time, slack time, shortest time for the current operation, a lot of different rules. And we also have the ability here to keep going is to define your own rules. So if you have, specific, maybe it's related to, this customer gets, the kit glove treatment on these particular parts or something like that, you have the ability to do that. Once that's in there, we've got a full set of tools in terms of, resource management, resource oversight, scheduling, drag and drop scheduling ability here if you wanted to move this. So this particular thing down here on the job, notice I've clicked this, I'm moving that around. These other ones light up, they're all related to that. So I get to see the impact when I make a change. Also at order entry, when customer service wants to book something, they can go in this particular case, the due date was April 21. And, you go and look at it, the system says, nope, you can't build it until July 27th. If I look at that and I look at the detail, it tells me why not. It will go through and tell me exactly on this assembly or set of assemblies where the holdup is. You see down here in red, I've got a holdup here at this operation. It could be material, things like that. So there's a lot of options that we can do here. But again, maybe, I don't want all this complexity, and all I want to do is go to my resources and say, you know what, I want to do per piece scheduling, and I want to schedule, X number of parts a day. I can do 630 quote unquote pieces, right? Now, what is a piece? And there's a number of different ways that we can define that. The simplest way is kind of my capacity units, whereas, a chair is going to be one. A love seat maybe is 2, or a sofa 3, or something like that. So that, yeah, all things are not equal, but you can assign a weighting to these parts and then just do your resource scheduling that way. And when you do this, the tools that we just saw will work with that. Cut piece. This is something we found that's we were able to save one manufacturer a lot of paperwork with this. I'll explain that a little bit. We've got situations where you've got, like I said, maybe it's a 1x1, it's an 8-foot length, but it gets cut into all of these little pieces to make your assembly. So, for instance, this raw material here, this lumber, really is, I get to make all these different pieces from it. And if I look at the bill of material, right, all of these pieces that go on my sofa, if I've got those set up in my traditional way, here's my, my cut piece here, my cut piece, my cut piece. Well, that cut piece is made of, 4 inches of lumber or 6 inches of lumber, or whatever it is. And what that does is that is going to give me a fairly complicated bill of material. So when I create a work order for this, I'm actually going to either have to do a work order or some type of subassembly transaction for this to transform that raw material into a subassembly. And that ultimately turns into a nightmare when you're in production of lots of paperwork. And we've seen this happen again and again, actually. One of the things that we did, and this is one of the things we built out, is let's turn that on turn it on its head and basically have the, directly subordinate to the piece of furniture. Here's my lumber. Now, within the bill of materials still, I have these, what we call cut pieces, but I don't have that in the traditional bill. We've actually got that set up here. We're looking at our materials on a part. So here is our finished good part. This is our lumber. Now you can see we've created an additional tab here that has cut pieces. So you can add, whatever it is that you're doing that are out there. And what that will do is that will actually go, as I add them here, that will go and total the amount of lumber and wood that I would need on the materials there. So it's an enhancement we've done. And what this allows us to do is, instead of having all these sub jobs and all that, go build this thing, but we'll print a cut sheet that goes along with this job. It flattens the bills and makes things a lot simpler for people. Dimensional inventory. Like I said, I've got 100 in inventory, but they're all 4-inch pieces. It does me no good. We've got the ability here to determine or define your attributes that you want to track. Maybe it's length, width, thickness. Maybe it's just linear feet. You can set those attributes up and assign them to items, to item locations, to lots if you're doing lot tracking as well, so that you can actually get visibility out there of, yeah, I got 100 feet, but none of it's going to do me any good. One thing we talked about, online sales. CloudSuite comes with portals, and this, I know we're looking at bicycles here. I didn't have my demo portal set up for tables and chairs, but the ability here to go out and for a customer to go out and have a shopping experience that goes out there, to click on categories, things I want. If certain customers have certain things available to them to buy online, you can configure that. If they have, excuse me, different pricing for things, all of that, customer-related pricing is rendered through here. Not only do we have customer portals, but also a reseller portal. So if you've got some resellers out there, distributors, and they have a bunch of customers, they can go in and use this, place orders on behalf of their customers, look it up, do things like that. And also for vendors as well. If you've got a vendor network that you would like to collaborate with, they can go out there, update inventory, respond to purchase orders, have conversations, things like that. Let's move on here. Last thing, packing and cubing, and this is something I'll bring up. We've been working on this for a while, and we're hoping to have this out by the end of the year, which is going to fit into our both our picking, warehouse picking, and our packing and shipping, where you are basically you load up your attributes of your items. Maybe it's the dimensions, their weights, things like that. Some things can't be stacked on the bottom. All those rules that are in there, and this application will go out and build it'll pack it. Basically it's playing 3D Tetris. It will optimize and package what you need, whether it's a box or a truck, fit things together, and even suggest, I've got this group of things here. This is how I can pack together. Here's the packaging you should use on this as well. Also, you notice maybe on this truck I'm doing a milk run, and I've got different destinations, and it can do the packing that way. If I know how I'm going to pack things up, maybe what I'd like to do is have a pick list that follows that order. So I pick the things that are going in first in the right order. And that's going to be hopefully, like I said, out this year as well. Okay, so that was just some of the things that we've come across with furniture manufacturers. If you'd like to hear more about any of that, or want to get a overview demo of Infor CloudSuite, any of the applications here, go ahead and give us a shout. And thank you very much for your time.